after I slipped the campus heartthrob a male health ad. The day I handed a love letter to school, heartthrob Jiang Yan. I was so nervous my hands and feet went weak and somehow ended up slipping a brochure for a men's health clinic from my pocket into his hand instead. The next day, he stood downstairs, clutching a crumpled flyer, his face darkened to an alarming shade. Do you think I need this? I cringed and forced a smile as I replied. Judging by your situation, you've probably taken quite a bit already. Adding one more won't make much difference, will it? His expression grew even darker. What conditions? I muttered under my breath. You're pathologically pale. Your fingers are even prettier than a girl's. And you've got this gloomy aura. Typical. Before I could finish describing my ideal type, he cut me off sharply. Enough. I don't need this at all. I cowed and accepted. No way, my judgment of people is always spot minus on. He was so angry that his chest heaved as he pressed me for my name and class. Chen King Lee, Class 1, Fine Arts. Shan King Lee. He'll remember you. I picked up the genuine love letter and ran after him. Won't you give it some thought? This is my heartfelt intention. He just left behind a single sentence, don't follow me, and hurriedly fled. I unfolded the love letter with a sense of grievance and froze instantly, because printed clearly on the paper was this question: what should I do about erectile dysfunction? And below it, in bold letters, Dongfang Men's Health Hospital, let you become a real man. It turns out I'd mixed up my love letter and the advertisement page. Back in the dorm, my roommate thought I'd successfully confessed my feelings. I broke down and burst into tears right there. Confessing the embarrassing blunder of handing out the wrong flyers. My roommate, Ling Wei, offered some advice. She suggested that I apologize publicly to salvage the situation. The next day, the teaching building was crowded with people. I carried a bundle of thorny branches on my back and read aloud the apology letter. Jiang Yan, I was wrong. I shouldn't have given you that urology flyer. You're the best in my heart, brimming with knowledge like an old hen at the village crossroads, ready to lay eggs anytime. And physically strong, you could easily do it 8 times in one night without breaking a sweat. GTN. And Ling Wei immediately presented their apologies with a gift: a box of oysters, a basket of chives, and 2 bull penises. I handed over the thermal container again. This is a nourishing porridge I've specially cooked. Please forgive me, okay? Jiang stood frozen in place, his face contorted beyond recognition. Finally, he picked up the porridge and gulped it down in one go, then threw the cup back into my arms. Let's just forget about this whole thing. Don't ever do anything like this again. Just as I let out a sigh of relief, an exclamation erupted from the classroom. Jiang Yan suddenly fainted, his face covered in blood, and was carried out by his roommate, in a panic. I hurried after him to the hospital and instinctively dialed the emergency number for the urology clinic listed on the flyer. After examining him, the doctor said earnestly, "Don't take supplements carelessly when you're still young." Then he handed him a business card of a specialist. Jiang Yan gritted his teeth and said, "I'm not sick." The doctor patted him on the shoulder and said, "I understand." I hurried forward to testify, "Doctor, he is really not sick at all." But the doctor smiled and said to Jiang Yan, "Your girlfriend is really kind to you." Jiang Yan sighed helplessly, opened the class group chat, and found it already buzzing with messages. Jiang Yan had been taken away by the urology hospital. No wonder he never dated anyone. Turns out he just was capable. I eagerly offered to help. "Don't worry, I'll book you a full medical checkup to clear your name. I've even posted an explanatory thread on Tibia." Jiang Yan's vision went black, and he passed out again. 2. When he woke up again, his demeanor had grown noticeably weathered. Looking at the oysters and chives laid out before me, his voice was chillingly cold. As I stood up, my legs went numb. I tumbled straight into his arms, accidentally brushing against him, and he shoved me away abruptly, his eyes filled with disgust. My heart sank, and I picked up the fallen bowl. "Well, I get it, you don't like me. You and Ki-chang are truly in love." Jiang said angrily, "Shut up, I'm being discharged right now." As soon as he finished speaking, his face turned pale in an instant. My leg, stepped forward proudly and said, "While you were unconscious, I gave you a full minus body spa and even waxed your hair." Jiang Yan ran his hand over the smooth calf, so angry he couldn't speak a word. After being discharged from the hospital, Jiang Yan started avoiding me. Ling Wei came up with another idea, suggested that I play the hero and save the damsel in distress to turn around his public image. During evening self-study, I slipped into the dark little woods all by myself and called Jiang Yan, pretending to be scared. Little did I know that it actually run into a pervert. In my panic, I lost my footing and fell into the lake, losing consciousness. When I woke up, a man with a bare chest was giving me first aid. I was so scared that I reflexively slapped him across the face. Pervert. The classmates around him instantly erupted in uproar. Jiang Yan, who had just arrived, was soaking wet and was dragged away, tied up like a pervert, and taken straight to the police station. I cried as I explained everything clearly and drew a sketch of the real culprit's appearance. Only then was Jiang able to clear his name. On his late night journey home, his eyes were cold as ice. They say him a sexually impotent pervert. Pausing briefly, he spoke warily. "Didn't you want to date me? I'll agree to be your boyfriend." I froze, saying, "Seriously? I have no other choice." After we started dating, I accompanied him to his calculus class. During the lecture, I secretly drew him, and the teacher called on me for a question. I stood up in a daze and asked, "Is Kawaii male or female?" The whole class burst into laughter. Jiang Yan calmly stood up and claimed, "Ichi's my family member." The crowd was thronging at the end of class, and he took the initiative to hold my hand, stay close to me. At the dormitory building's entrance, I mustered up the courage to kiss his cheek. My heart was pounding like a drum. We watched the sunset together and breathed in the sea breeze. I even asked him to pose as a human model. Just as I was halfway through drawing, he suddenly leaned over and kissed me passionately and earnestly. But happiness didn't last long. I was holding my birthday gift, ready to go find him, when I overheard his conversation with Ki-chong right outside the door. If it weren't for her pushing him into a corner, how could Brother Yan even bother talking to her? He'd have wanted to break up long ago. Jiang Yan didn't retort. He simply called out Ki-chong's name in a sharp tone. I felt as if I'd plunged into an icy cave, turned around and ran away, then called to break up with him. Zhang said impatiently, "Just because of 2 sentences?" I cried, accusing him of not liking me and even teasing him about his poor kissing skills and the ugly Barbie minus pink lipstick he'd given me. He was so flustered that he ended up hanging up the phone in a huff. The next day, my roommate woke me up to tell me that Jiang Yan had fallen from the rooftop while drunk and was now in critical condition. I rushed to the hospital and collapsed beside his hospital bed, bursting into tears. But suddenly, he sat up and said, "I'm not dead yet." The doctor said he'd fallen and hit his head, causing him to lose his memory. But as he took my hand in his gaze was gentle. "Even though I can't remember anything, the moment I saw you, I just fell in love with you, baby." I instantly softened and chose to reconcile. During winter vacation, Jiang Yan, who'd lost his memory, became gentle and considerate. Sweet minus talking and incredibly clingy. That was until I found the sketches and scarf he'd thrown away at his place. 3. That's something I threw away when we broke up back then. Yet, he has been carefully keeping it all these years. I finally realized he hadn't lost his memory at all. When Zhong returned home and caught me holding the evidence, he stopped pretending and wrapped his arms around me from behind. "I pretended to have amnesia only because I like you." He admitted that at first, they'd gotten together out of sheer necessity. But as time went on, he'd long since fallen truly in love, though he stubbornly refused to admit it. After the semester started, Jiang Yan prepared a grand confession right beneath the dormitory building, complete with candles, fireworks, and a banner, and loudly declared, "Shen Qingli, I like you." Standing amidst the crowd, I felt both shy and sweet and finally realized that this love affair, which had begun as a misunderstanding, had ultimately blossomed into genuine affection.